Alright guys, so I've been doing a lot of cutting, a lot of welding. There's been miles and miles of welding going on here, but it's coming together pretty good. Ended up, I decided kind of off the hip to make a little spot here for my license plate, so that's going to sit there. Kind of got it where it's recessed in, you know. Got a little spot up here where I can cut a hole for the tag light. This isn't my tag, but it's one that was on a vehicle I sold. Anyways, so that'll be good. Took me a little while to get that down. I got a couple of little pinholes I had to fix. I'm gonna smooth that all out. And I got it kind of angled, so if water gets on it, it'll come, you know, drain off the side of it. So I got that done. I also got my pieces for the top all welded in. You can kind of see here, I got my holes for my shocks kind of cut out. I just like the way it looks. I think it looks cool with the shocks being able to see the top of them. Still yet have to build a little brace to go from here to here. Still yet got to build this piece to go up to the top for the headache rack. But I got that done. Craig cut me out some pieces that I'm working on welding in for the bumper here. Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Caleb Morrison. This is Caleb's Diesel and Fabrication. If you like fabricating stuff, if you like working on diesel vehicles, this is a great place to be because we're going to do it all. So got those done. I still got to put this piece in right here. I think it's like that. Yeah, so Craig got me that piece cut out so I can put it in there, weld it in so I can box in the back of the frame. So it's, you know, it's for all intents and purposes, it's coming together, making it stout. I mean, like I've said in multiple times on making this setup, it's, you know, it's slow going, but stuff that has to be done. So got this side done as well. I don't know, I was thinking about welding the tops all the way around, but I like the clean way this is set up here. So I think I'm just gonna leave the welds on the inside. You can see where I got the penetration through. Also got this side all notched out and got the space around it, so it's looking pretty good. Anyways, you can see I got it all spot welded in there. So it's not gonna go anywhere. I really like the way it's looking. Every time I put a piece on the back of this thing, it's really taking shape. I've kind of been throwing it around where I'm going to put the tail lights. You know, do I recess them in like I did there, you know, somewhere in here? Or do I put them in the bumper? I don't know yet. I'm kind of up in the air. Also had Craig cut me out some slugs, diamond plate slugs, so I can put on the ends here to go there. And then also right here, so I can cap those off. I really like the diamond plate look. I think it's going to look pretty good all together and done. So I don't know, I think it's going good. It's a lot of boring stuff, guys, just a lot of welding, a ton of cutting pieces out. It seems like no matter how hard I try to make things, you know, everything perfect, level and straight, the pieces are just a little bit different. Go figure. So it's a project, part of it. The boxes, you know, coming in, I'll still be able to put the spare in there and it'll look good. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I'm going to continue on welding. Hope you guys like what you're seeing. I'm going to try to get this piece cut off here, trim this up, clean it all up, and get this box part of the frame all done. But yeah, that's where we're at right now, guys, and we're gonna keep on going. Hey guys, I'm basically done for the day. I'm cleaning up. I've been welding for, shoot. Started about 10, 9:30, somewhere like that. Ended up putting in, it's about, let's see, shoot, 6:15 now. So putting in quite a few hours welding. Really, it's coming together. It's starting to take shape. I'm really liking the way it's set up. Should have nicknamed this project Miles of Welding, or 400 miles of welding, something like that, because it seems like I constantly continue to weld and weld and weld, but that's the name of the game when it comes to making custom beds, custom suspension, custom everything. So I'll show you. Profile's coming out pretty good, looking pretty good. You can see, you know, my boxes here kind of match that same height of my fenders here. Got my tag inlaid in there. That was kind of an afterthought. I didn't know I was going to do that until whenever I started to measure this area to cut the plate, and I was like, you know what, it'd be cool if that was laid in there so I wouldn't get bothered, because I at one point thought I was going to put it down here, but I've seen that on multiple vehicles get tore off, and that's kind of an afterthought, and this is one of those projects that is not an afterthought. So anyways, I got it in there. It's looking good, inlaid in there. I got a couple of places I still got to clean up. I got to make some pieces to go on the sides here to clean that up, but I got my transition pieces, the diamond plate laid in here and welded in. It's looking pretty good. It's tied into my top pieces for the bed rails. Got this side done as well, looking pretty good. Also got this all stitch welded up where it meets. I got it welded on the inside too, but I got it all, you know, cleaned up, and I'm gonna smooth that out with sanding disc and get it all clean, looking good. You can look back, kind of see right here, you know, it kind of domes or covers the spare up pretty well, which I think will be in the long run a good thing, because I really don't plan on taking it off very much, but it's going to have its own dedicated place. So it's just a lot of work. Sitting here cutting, I think I went through 50 of those grinding discs, cutoff wheels. I went through 30 of the sanding discs, and I went through only 2 grinding discs. So I went through quite a bit. I bet I was on the grinder itself for 2 hours at least. So you just gotta, you know that on a project like this, you're gonna use a lot of those cutoff wheels, a lot of grinding wheels. This thin metal, I do have a plasma cutter, but on this thin metal, it seems like if you don't turn your heat down on a torch or a plasma cutter, it actually will warp what you're cutting. And one thing that I really like about cutoff wheels is whenever you are cutting with them, it's really nice because they only cut about a 1/16 of a gap or so out of the material, and they're real easy to manipulate if you're easy with them and you're not forceful on them. And you know, they're super easy. Some people call them death wheels, because if you do put them in a bind, they blow up. That is true. But I've been working with them for a long time. I've have some blow up on me. It's where I always wear gloves, safety glasses, a hat, long sleeve shirt, not loose, but a button up shirt or a long sleeve that's tight so it doesn't get caught up in the wheel. I have a cousin that got a grinding disc caught up in his shirt, and it cut his gut open, and wasn't a good deal. So I'm definitely not going to be that guy. I'm going to learn from that experience from him. But you can see the mess that it made over here cutting all this material. I mean, it's just all over the ground. But I'm a quarter of the way through this 4x8 sheet, just getting the right cuts, and then obviously I've used up as many pieces as I can. And guys, I'm kind of a hoarder of steel plate, because I like steel plate, and I feel like that it's something that is super expensive. That one sheet over there was like $97 for 1/8 inch regular non-diamond plate. So I don't get rid of it. If I have it left over for a project, we keep it. I put it outside. I got a stack of it, and the way I stack it is I stack it up and down so water doesn't sit in between them and rust them from the inside out. So I don't get rid of a whole lot of steel. This tubing is kind of one of those things, I just buy it as I need it, but it's turning out pretty good. I like the way that the shocks kind of come through the top, so you can still kind of see them. You can see what they are. I still am going to put a brace here. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'll think about it. But man, I really made some huge leaps and bounds yesterday and today. I'm really proud of the progress. You can kind of get an idea of where we're going with it. You can see, you know, the tires still stick out a little bit past the fenders, but I like it. I think it looks aggressive. And another thing I was going for is I really wasn't wanting to have a ton hanging over the back and over the side, hanging over the sides of the tires, because you're going to run into rocks. You're going to run into things on the trail. You just know it's going to happen. So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing this type of stuff. I mean, if you're purposely building this to be a trail rig, it doesn't matter if it's a Chevy Tahoe, a Bronco, an Explorer. The things that are hanging out the widest are going to get the most abuse. So, you know, the tires on mine are pretty much the widest thing, but then also the next things that touch inside of where the tires sit is going to be my rock sliders. That's next. And then after the rock sliders, you're going to have the fenders. So if you look at the fender right there, bam, it's going to get touched too. Now, you know, they're braced up and tied into the bumper. They're tied into the bed sides. They're tied into, you know, the frame of the truck, the headache rack. They're tied into all that. So the more you can brace it up and tie it together, the tougher it's going to be. You know, my background in building these brush trucks for all these fire departments has been real helpful in fabricating, you know, stuff, because firemen are really good at tearing stuff up. If it can be tested, it's going to get tested by them, trust me. And so the way I build things is way overbuilt, and I haven't had any complaints yet. So, you know, especially on my own stuff, I'm a fireman as well. I can tear stuff up. So I'm also building it the way that I think is going to last the longest. So I'm pretty proud of the progress. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm really happy to see, you can kind of get a side profile view of the truck. The way that it's sitting, I mean, it just looks really aggressive. The stance is good, you know. And it's kind of got a little bit of a rake to it. The back's kind of down, but I got these shocks adjusted all the way up, so I can go down quite a bit with them to get them adjusted where I need to. And I don't have all of the things on the truck yet that's going to be weighing it down. So there's really no reason to get too wild with adjusting the shocks. One thing I did a little research over this past week was an anti-rock sway bar. I don't think I'm going to go with the anti-rock brand because there's cheaper ones out there that are just as good. A couple of guys did some videos over I watched, and I really liked the way that they set up their anti-rock sway bar, or just a sway bar in general. So once I get it all built, I'm going to have to order that and get it coming this way, because I think it's going to add a lot of stability to the truck. I'm at least going to put it on the back. I don't think I'll put one on the front, but I'm going to put one on the back just to help with the control on road, because I am going to drive it quite a bit on the road too. We'll see how it goes, but I also want to drive it off-road and it be stable. Everyone that I kind of looked up and talked to so far is like, hey, you definitely are going to want that. And, you know, most of the majority of the Jeeps and trucks you see out there have them anyways, even if they disconnect them when they get there. So, guys, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I made a ton of progress over the past 2 days, and I'm thankful to be able to have the opportunity to do this. I'm really liking the product that's coming out of the project so far, and I'm learning a lot. I'm soaking up every bit of knowledge I can. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys are having a good one, and man, I'm looking forward to having this thing done, driving it. So we'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, so back in the shop this week. It's kind of exciting because this week we got a lot going on. A couple things I'm proud of so far is this week we were able to get our new Snap-on Zues scanner in. Pretty excited about it. Got the little diagnostic mobile work center that goes with it. It's going to be super handy to have. We've already used it on a few vehicles. Has SureTrack information on it, so helps you be able to look up different fixes and things that people have worked on before. So pretty excited. It's going to make our job so much easier on diagnosing these newer vehicles. A lot of the newer vehicles we work on, I'd say newer, anything 2005 and up, you kind of need some intelligent diagnostics. I've had a snap-on scanner in the past, a couple different ones. I had a Triton, Apollo had one, it was good. But this just has made it so much easier. Plus it's got the screen, computer screen that's also mirroring exactly what's on the Zues scanner itself. Another cool thing about the Zues is it has the remote dongle that hooks in to that OBD2 port, and then you can actually walk around with the Zues and use it that way, and you don't have to be connected with a cable. So super excited about that. It's going to help us out a ton. Other things in the shop we got going on this week is we're working on a box truck. Has a C7 cat in it. They use some ether to try to start it after running it completely out of diesel fuel and smoked the rings. It's got a ton of blow-by, which is a no-no. Do not use ether to start something that's completely out of fuel. Prime the fuel pump up and hook a battery charger or cables up to it. Turn it over and get it running. I don't care what people say. A lot of ether is not good. It just takes a little bit if you're gonna use it. Anyways, you have to get creative with box trucks. So we got creative, hooked the chain hoist up to the rafters and lifted the cab off, and now it's gonna be so much easier. You can see how much room you have to work around the engine whenever you have the cab off. It's going to make putting the engine and taking it out just a breeze. Pretty excited about it. So we got that going on. Another thing we've been doing is working on cleaning up the area. I'm trying to change myself. Instead of being a collector, I'm trying to be someone who gets rid of the junk. So started off this journey and was working on a lot of military trucks. And that's kind of what my bread and butter was, building fire trucks and hobbyist trucks for guys wanting military trucks. And so that's kind of how I started. And so, you know, one of the things that happens whenever you start doing these trucks is you kind of accumulate parts and stuff. So I've got a couple of parts trucks that we pulled a lot of bones off of to fix other trucks. But we're here and I've got them loaded up, a couple of them, a bed off an LMTV, another cab off a truck that got wrecked, cab and bed off of a deuce and a half. It's had a rough life, but we picked all the bones off. Devin and Craig are getting her all strapped down, and it's going to take its last ride to Turley, America, aka Fraileys, to live a new life, probably as a T-post or a piece of I-beam. Ain't that right, Devin?
See.
You're not Spanish. The gooseneck's hooked in, got it going. So anyways, we're also working on a local company that's we've worked on their stuff before. It's a paving machine. We're taking it apart. It's got a hydraulic leak. So, you know, this is called CM Diesel Services because we work on all types of vehicles and equipment as long as it's diesel. Now, this is a hydraulic setup. You can kind of see right here we've got a mess, and I guess a lot of people don't want to mess with this because it's kind of nasty, but it's okay. It pays really well and it's going to be good. So we're replacing a hydraulic line on it for one of the tracks. It's got a massive leak, so kind of cool and get an opportunity to work on different stuff. Got a few more skid steers in, and my phone's ringing. Hey buddy. Oh yeah, just give it a once over. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no problem. We'll definitely do that. Ain't a problem. Okay, thanks, Blue. See you, buddy. Just another customer needing some service work done, just like that all day long. We just got this 333 John Deere, which is, I think, the biggest John Deere skid steer that they make. Dropped off. We're gonna do some service work on it. I don't know how many hours it's got on there yet, but shouldn't be that bad. Just gotta, you know, give it some love and take care of it. So we're gonna do that. We also got a differential in from a big semi truck that we're gonna have to take apart and look at some bearings. So we just got a lot of work lined up, but that's kind of where we're at right now. I plan on taking you guys with me to the Turley, America, the AKA Scrap Central of America, to drop off these trucks so we can show you how much of a mecca it is. So hope you guys are enjoying it. That's what we got going on this week. Okay, well, the way my truck, my 1-ton's pulling this load, it's pretty good, pretty heavy. We also got I would say a south wind right now, so pretty heavy load, I think. I'm gonna guess 12,500 pounds, somewhere in that range, maybe. I could be a little high. We'll see though. But we're just now getting into Turley and let you guys know. But like I said, the way my truck's pulling it, I kind of tell it's pulling it down and making it a little hard on it, especially with that south wind. But we're getting close to Fraileys. I always like going back here, you know, because whenever I was in high school, a lot of people don't know it, but in high school, I would actually do this after school and during the summertime to make money. I started doing it about 07, 08, started scrapping metal, taking it down here in Turley, which is a suburb of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And man, they were giving good money at the time. It was around $300 a ton. So 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So you can imagine, you know, 16-year-old kid with an old square body pickup with a 16-foot trailer, wooden floor that wasn't that great, and I'd load up anything I could find and put it on that trailer, and I'd take it down here to Turley. You know, you get 300, 400 bucks out of it, and in high school, man, you're feeling like you are just ready to take on the world with $400. How times have changed. Man, I remember I used to go and I'd have 400 bucks, I'd have enough money to fill up both tanks of fuel on that old square body. And man, I really felt like I was something when I could fill both tanks up. Nowadays, my credit card bill's, you know, 3 times that, so you gotta love it. But anyways, here we are pulling in. This is Fraileys. This is a pretty good sized scrap yard. They do a couple $1 million a year in scrap metal here in this small suburb. So we'll get checked in here. Hey! So they're gonna give us a number and they're gonna check out the load, see what they say. I took the gauges out. They're not even in them.
There you go.
I know one time I came down years ago and they were radioactive, the little speedometer.
It's crazy, ain't it?
I don't know why,
I
but
didn't know until then either.
Yeah. You want me you want back there or over here?
I guess try for the blue one and
Okay.
then he'll have you go to the side if you can.
Okay. All right, there you go. So we got a number. They give you a number, that way whenever you check back in, they can get you checked out, because they got a lot of people coming in and out. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but you can see how busy it is. Look at all these cars. So this is one of those deals where you've got to just sit here and wait until it's your turn to get unloaded. So what I'm gonna do is pull over here to the side and get ready. And one of the cool things about it, and I've learned this over time, is you can pull over here out of the way and start unloading your load, or unbooming your load. And once you get it unboomed, you can back it in. Have a good one, man. Yeah, right. All right, you too. See you, man. Oh, yeah. You guys done this a few times. Nice. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Gotta love it. Here we go. Time to get weighed out. People are already in line. That's the best part about this, is seeing the satisfaction of the claw doing work. All right, let's go see what this sucker weighs. It was like 24,900, I think. And let's just see what it'll do. Ooh, look at this guy. He's got a 6'4" power stroke. He's living on the edge. That guy right there is brave. I can't believe he's driving that thing around. Maybe he got lucky and got a good one. They're kind of few and far between. The old 6'4" is not that good of a diesel engine. But they only made it for a couple of years, and that's the reason why. Ooh, they got a Takeuchi excavator over there. Might have to go check out the engine on it. See, this is what you run into when you go to the scrapyard. You drop stuff off, then you see stuff you might need, and then it's like, you know what? I might be coming home with some stuff. And that's what's bad, is I know the owner pretty well, and you know, I can make a deal on stuff normally. So anyways, here we go. I'm going across the scale. I'm next. It's a happening place. I remember being in high school, coming up here and thinking to myself, man, what an awesome place to work. No. But cool. Ooh. You see, this old boy's got a 9 mil packed in his back. He's the real deal. All right, it's our turn. Let's see how this goes. I wonder what the old pickup weighs. Let's see, 15,860. All right, cool. 15,860 is what it said. We're gonna pull in here and see what we come up with. I'll pull up over here out of the way, being considerate of others, because you know, whenever you get done and you leave out of here, you just want a good parking spot. Now it's time to go get paid. You know what's the other cool thing that I haven't mentioned about the scrapyard is they pay in cash. So it's really nice because, you know, cash is king. So here we go. Go check it out. Go in here. I'll be right back. Let you guys know. See how we did. See how we did. Alright guys, you never know what you're gonna find. There's a little 4BT Cummins over here on the ground. Well, it came out of a piece of equipment. A couple of cranes. There's a 12 valve Cummins. But look out behind there. That's an 84, 83, 84, 85 square body record. Did we just find our next project vehicle? It's 2-wheel drive, but you know what? It can always be made into a 4-wheel drive. Let's go talk to the man with the plan. I initially came over here to look at this excavator. It needs an engine, but it's a little too far gone. So let's go check it out and see if we can find Dylan, man in the know. See if we can make a deal on this square body. Wouldn't that be so cool? Pretty exciting. We'll find out. All right, guys. He didn't want to sell it. He bought it. The guy who owns this place bought the square body for himself, so he's gonna keep it. Dang it. But they do got some 4BT Cummins and some 12 valve Cummins engines that I'm probably gonna buy as cores just to have. So man, honestly, I'd be terrible at owning a scrapyard because I'd want to keep everything. It's all right though. I'll be down another time. Sometimes you get lucky, you get here, start looking at stuff, find out that there's something else you need. So you can see my trailer is completely empty. So we'll look at the damage, guys. See what you guys think. Empty trailer, and I'm happy. Oh, better put my gloves up before they fly out. Okay. All right. Alright, let's see what the damage is here. Alright guys, so I came in at 24,300 pounds. Came out at 15,860 pounds. So I had 8,440 pounds total in that stuff. So I didn't have many engines or anything on this load, or I really didn't have that bed. I had that bed, I had a truck frame, another truck frame, just not really super heavy stuff, but scrap is $170 a ton, so that was a pretty good little load. Can't complain at all about that. Looks like they're still busy. They got a ton of people coming in even still. It's amazing. You see, and I tell people this all the time, when you come to the scrapyard, I swear, oops, watch it, we got a little bit of a bump. You see all walks of life. So you see people that, you know, are barely getting by. You see people that are, you know, they got a business, you know, like me, and they have extra stuff laying around, and they end up taking stuff back that's junk that they don't want to have sitting around their place, getting rid of it. Then you got farmers, you know, that decide they want a little extra cash, so they, you know, load up a trailer load of junk and take it in, and you know, they're better off because of it and cleaning up their property. You know, then you got people that, you know, barely have, well, like my grandpa used to say, a pot to piss in, and they just need some extra cash to get by, to get food for their kids or food for themselves, and they're in there just trying to make it, you know, day to day. And, you know, I respect that, the grind, the hustle, and you gotta got to stay on that grind, guys. And that's what I'm doing. You know, the business is doing good. The boys are working. Life is good. So, you know, I love working on my own square body and, you know, building the rock crawlers. But you know what? That ain't what all life's about. It's about family, love, and, you know, pursuing what makes you happy. And, you know, bonuses like this, taking junk in and, you know, getting money for it is great. Just makes you proud to live in the old US of A.